Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
Successful completion of training at a driving school and passing exams is always a very exciting moment. But a person experiences much more pleasant emotions when choosing his or her own car. Since the driver is just beginning to gain experience, many do not consider it necessary to immediately buy expensive cars. Some are simply sure that it is necessary to learn on old domestic cars. But many are ready to argue with such conclusions. When choosing the first car for a novice driver, a number of factors should be taken into account. The presence of a large budget here does not play a key role, although it significantly expands the possibilities of the buyer, giving the right to choose among a wide range. Expensive versus cheap. Before choosing your first car for a novice driver, you need to decide on the available budget. Practice clearly shows that even with an impressive amount, not everyone buys expensive vehicles at once. Here everything depends on individual wishes. Having at your disposal about 2 million rubles, you can buy an excellent car. But how rational and correct such a choice will be is an extremely relevant question. An expensive car is often the reason for the increased insecurity of a novice driver. He is afraid not only of breaking the rules or making an incorrect maneuver, but also of damaging expensive property. The first car is necessary for acquiring skills. Mistakes are almost inevitable, and sometimes you can do without dents or scratches. But it is often necessary to periodically touch up the car, straighten the bodywork, replace accidentally broken headlights. When a driver spoils an expensive car, this is a more serious financial cost. Maintenance and repair of such a vehicle will cost a lot. Costs go not only on maintenance, but also on current procedures for the replacement of consumables, operating costs. And when a car is bought for the entire available budget, there is not enough money for maintenance. One should not forget that expensive cars lose their price faster on the secondary market, and not always the car can be sold quickly. And when it also has traces of damage, dents, and chips, then it will not be possible to realize the car profitably. Therefore, experienced drivers are sure that for a beginner the optimal budget for the first car will be the amount of 600 to 800,000 rubles. For such money you can find excellent used foreign cars and very good new cars. For a beginner, it is not superfluous to have a fairly wide list of safety systems in the car, if the budget allows. Used versus new. If one perennial question when deciding how to choose the right first car for a beginner is the factor of new or used vehicle. Discussions on this topic never cease. Some are convinced of the benefits of used cars, while others are completely in favor of showroom cars. The dilemma is that with the same budget, you can find a good used foreign car or take a new but inexpensive car. Before deciding, consider all the strengths and weaknesses of each option. In favor of the secondary market is the possibility of becoming the owner of an inexpensive but quite prestigious foreign car. They are considered more reliable than budget cars. But there is a trick here. The car will be reliable if it is in adequate condition. And such cars are surpassed only by budget analogs of the same year of manufacture. You can never be completely sure how carefully before you operated the vehicle. There are daredevil drivers who literally killed the running gear, suspension, and engine, and before the sale, made a light masking repair. But it is possible that the car is in a very decent condition, so it fully justifies the investment in it. It's a lottery, in which you never know whether you will win or lose. If you buy a new car, albeit less prestigious, the novice driver gets the following advantages. No need to invest additional funds for repairs, partial restoration, etc. It is immediately clear how much it will cost to operate the car. The car is in fully serviceable condition. There is a warranty. There are favorable insurance offers. Read also, device and characteristics of preheaters binary engine heater. It is impossible to say unequivocally which option is better. All have their own peculiarities, nuances, advantages, and disadvantages. Therefore, the novice motorist will have to decide for himself. Size. In a really competent choice of a car for a woman beginner at the wheel, as well as for a man, experienced drivers advise to abandon the idea of buying a large SUV or a large crossover. No one disputes that such cars have a number of advantages, such as good visibility, a solid body, and all-wheel drive. But we cannot forget about the disadvantages, which manifest themselves in the form of less maneuverability, worse overall feel, difficult handling. For a novice driver, these factors do not play into the hands of the driver, as it is difficult to reverse, to park diagonally, to move from one lane to another, to overtake and overtake. Beginning drivers are very afraid of traffic, because then the distance between cars is minimal. When the car has impressive dimensions, it does not always allow you to rearrange in time. Often there are small accidents, etc. Therefore, it is better to choose more compact vehicles for the first car. Basically, these are cars from Class A to Class B+. Do not forget about the existence of compact crossovers, which are similar in size to hatchbacks, but have a higher seating position, which improves visibility for the driver. Drive. When the question is raised as to which car is better to take for a novice driver, you cannot get around the issue of the available drive on the vehicle. As you know, there are several types of drive. Front-wheel drive vehicles have a simple and reliable design, which makes them less expensive. They are easy to corner and have better cross-country ability than rear-wheel drive vehicles. At the same time, the maximum angles of rotation on the front wheels are smaller, slippage and stalling are often observed. If you choose rear-wheel drive, you will get better acceleration from a place and improved information management. But also do not forget about possible drifting of the rear axle due to oversteer and increased mass of the rear part. All-wheel drive vehicles have excellent handling and stability on any surface. They have optimal acceleration and pass difficult sections. But for this you will have to pay more expensive repairs and maintenance. Gearbox. You're still thinking about which car is best for a novice driver, but you can't decide on the gearbox. When talking about women, it is often recommended for a girl beginner to take a car with an automatic transmission. There are inexpensive vehicles with automatic transmission, and such a car is really more preferable. Men should also not hesitate to buy an automatic transmission, as it is practical and more rational. Beginning drivers who have bought a car with an automatic will not have to be constantly distracted by switching the knob of a manual transmission. Plus, one pedal disappears, which also makes driving much easier. Manual shifting is familiar to those who have spent their entire lives driving a car with a manual transmission. Therefore, they are in no hurry to switch to an automatic. Objectively speaking, it is extremely inconvenient to yank the mechanic's knob for operation in the city, where traffic lights are constantly burning. You have to stand at intersections and in traffic. Adherents of MKPP state that automatic boxes consume a large amount of fuel, and they are supposedly very difficult to repair. This is true only for old automatic transmissions. Modern automatic transmissions are very economical, and current car services can easily handle them for repair and maintenance. Read also, how to choose the best car shampoo for a touchless car wash power. A novice driver also has a lot of questions regarding what is the best way to choose a car in terms of power. Here different people advise to choose low power and high power motors. But both positions are objectively considered wrong. It is important for a beginner to have a certain reserve of horsepower to make fast enough and safe overtaking, not to lag behind the general flow, but at the same time and not to jump out of place at the slightest pressure on the gas pedal. In this regard, the optimal solution will be an engine with a capacity of about 150 horsepower. And here it does not matter whether the power plant will work on diesel or gasoline fuel. Rating. Here is a small list of cars that are able to partially or fully meet the stated requirements. All the above recommendations are conditional in nature, since each motorist himself determines the priority characteristics. The mini rating of the best cars for novice drivers includes the following models. Logan. An inexpensive car from the company Renault. One of the best options for beginners, since it has an affordable price, good build quality, reliable motors, and budget maintenance. At the same time, you get a spacious interior and a huge trunk. A good solution that can last for many years. Duster. A small and budget crossover from Renault. It is suitable for those who need to drive not only in the city, but also to go beyond its limits. High landing, impressive ground clearance, ability to pass on off-road with simultaneous excellent adaptation to urban conditions. The car is very practical, and therefore in high demand and ideal for beginners. Though mainly for men, Picanto. A good car for adequate money from Kia. An excellent option for female drivers who mainly use the car in the city. The car is maneuverable, economical, quite reliable, and safe. It feels confidently in a big city, as it is easy to rearrange, has enough power for overtaking, and at the same time consumes a small amount of fuel. Polo. A very popular car from Volkswagen. External dimensions are small, but in reality the car is roomy and practical. German build quality, high level of reliability, attractive appearance, and adequate price. The new Polo received 5 stars of safety from the European Commission. Therefore, it got a deserved place in the list of the best cars for beginners. Rapid. Czech car from Skoda with German components. Solid car with excellent appearance, spacious interior, large trunk, and a rich choice of options. At a democratic price, you will be offered economical and durable motors. Different cars are suitable for different drivers. A compact city car is more suitable for novice female drivers, while a car with a high seating position and a crossover body will be a relevant solution for men. It is important not only what the car looks like, because the design does not solve exactly nothing. Here you should pay attention to the main characteristics, safety, comfort, and price, which will cost the operation of this or that car. It is really difficult for a novice driver to choose a car. Even with not the biggest budget, the range on the current market is huge. Therefore, it is important to clearly prioritize. In conclusion, buying your first car as a novice driver can be an exciting yet daunting experience. By considering factors such as your budget, safety features, reliability, and insurance costs, you can make a more informed decision. Remember to take your time, do thorough research, and even seek advice from experienced drivers or trusted friends. With the right preparation, you'll find a vehicle that not only meets your needs, but also enhances your driving journey. Happy car hunting!